So we've done 2 videos using COUNTIF so far, and now I'd like to make COUNTIF a slightly bit more complicated just to show you how awesome it is. And so in this case, I've already gone ahead and typed in the text that I wanted, and I've even colored these blue for L24 all the way down to O29. I've colored it blue just to make it pop. Make it a little easier. Plus, I think there was something else. Yes, there was. There were some other functions that we were doing back in assignment 2. So now we're nearing the end of assignment 3, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to combine all of the ideas that we've learned so far to wrap up assignment 3. So there's a number here that is my highest rating, and then which I gave however many times. So that's just kind of this top row. Let's focus on that. So the first part is, what is your highest rating, and what function would you use in order to calculate your highest rating? And yes, we are down here underneath my ratings and my 10-word reasons. So there's all your ratings. Let's try and figure out what is your highest rating. And the function for that would be max. So I type in equals max. Or I could also just as easily go up to the f of x, and there's max right there. Either one will work. I click OK. And now I'm going to search all of my ratings. So I'm just going to click and drag up the ratings line, get to the top. And it says 9 is my highest rating. Interesting. I must have not been feeling very generous that day. So 9 is my highest rating. My lowest rating is going to use the min function. But for now, let's just go over on the row and say 9 is my highest rating. How many times did I give a 9? So which I gave so many times. How many times did I give it? I'm going to use COUNTIF. So I've gone to the place I want the answer to show up here. I click the f of x button. I'm going to use COUNTIF again. Okay. This time my range where I'm searching is all of my ratings, all of those beautiful ratings that you gave, and the criteria that I'm looking for is way down here. So let me just move this out of the way a little bit. The criteria that I'm looking for is way down at the bottom. There it is there. So there's the 9. Okay. And so this is telling me that if it's searching L2 to L21 or 22, the criteria is to search in L24, which is the 9, and it appears twice. So apparently I was only feeling generous 2 times to give out a high rating of 9. I must be very, very hard on the movies. Okay. I think this was a fake movie list and I was just putting some numbers in. So lowest rating, I can tell just by looking at the list that it should be either a 1 or a 0, but let's find out. So let's go to our f of x and go and find min for minimum. It's going to find us the smallest value, so we click OK. This time I'm going to click again the whole list. I'll remember to start from 22 just to include the blank space and hit enter or OK on the keyboard. And so my lowest rating is a 1, is indeed a 1. Okay. And how many times did I give that 1? Well, let's do the COUNTIF and find out. So there's COUNTIF because I've used the f of x button. This time I'm going to put the criteria in first because I get tired of scrolling up and down. So I'm going to click on the 1 as the criteria first. Notice I clicked in the criteria space. Now I'm going to click in the range space. I'm going to click and drag all the way up to the top. And indeed, I only gave a rating of 1 once, and I probably gave it for the wrong movie. All right, so that's how you do this first part. Now the second part all of a sudden turns it backwards. And the question is, how many times, what is the number of times that I rated a movie a certain score? Okay. So first I'm going to start with the middle one, and I'm going to say a 5. So how many times did I rate a movie 5? So now the COUNTIF function is going to be going on this side. This is just to confuse us all. So the f of x button is here. I'm going to go to COUNTIF and click OK. My criteria is that 5 that I just typed in. And the range, again, is all of my ratings. So apparently I only gave a 5 once. But now, again, this is super cool. I can say I can use less than and greater than signs. So how many times did I give a rating that was greater than 5? And press enter. Okay. Oops, sorry, I went too far. All right. Now, I could do the COUNTIF all over again, or I could actually copy this cell, and paste it right here. Paste. And I'm going to use the first paste in the list of choices. And this tells me that I gave a rating, and I'm just, see how it's still kind of doing this. I'm just going to hit the escape key on my keyboard to make it stop doing that line around. So 10 is the number of times I rated a movie greater than 5. So I actually was feeling very generous if 10 of the movies got a rating greater than 5. So you would think, logically, that the number of movies that I gave a rating of less than 5 should be 9 if there's 20 movies there. Okay, so I am going to copy this, copy, and then I'm going to go down and paste that right here. Why is that only an 8? Isn't this an interesting example? So I'm going to press escape just to say I'm all done copying and pasting. If you ever wonder what's going wrong because those numbers don't add up, okay, you can double click to edit the cell, which looks like this, or I'm just going to press escape. When you're over the cell, you can press the F2 key. Now that's not the F and the 2. It's across the top, usually somewhere beside escape are the F keys, and they all have like F1, F2, F3, F4 all the way across, and so you can click the F2 key, either double clicking on it or clicking the F2 key. And what you see here when I look at this formula, it says COUNTIF, that's good. It's got an open bracket, that's good. It's got the L's, but it says L3 to L23. So what happened was when I copied it from here, this one says L2 to L22, and by moving it down, it copied the formula and it assumed that I wanted to go down with everything. So the easiest way to fix this would be to type in a 2 right there, but I'm not going to do the easy way. I'm going to scroll up to the top, and I'm going to notice, oh look, the top one's not colored in. That's why it didn't do that. And I can either just drag the whole blue thing up, or I can grab this little corner piece and drag it up. And now the 3 is included in my search. I'm really glad that they added the helpful colors so I could see that. And then you can see that the blue comes right down, and thankfully it stops just above the other calculations that I'm doing. So now when I click, oh goodness. It's I've clicked too many times here. So now I want to say make that go away because that's just going to be confusing, and I just want to click over there. There, somehow I got some extra code in there. And so now 10 plus 1 plus 9 equals 20, and we're all good to go. Okay. By the way, if I had popped that up, I could also go to the f of x button, and it would show me the range and the criteria. And if I wasn't sure about the range, I could just delete that and click on the part that I want and click OK. All right, so there you go, COUNTIF, mission accomplished. We're moving on to the next one.